Hello, 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 and welcome to Not a Safe Space podcast. This is Sabrina, and with us we have
Tabby.
Hey girl, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Here we go with episode number 2.
What?
I
We
know.
actually came back for more.
I know. How's it been going? So for our listeners to know, I had the easy job, come and talk with my friend for a couple hours, and then I've been working and on the road, and then Tabby's been doing the difficult part of editing, getting us out on different platforms. How's that been going?
It has been a learning process. Thank you for throwing me into that. I appreciate it. Great. Friends are awesome.
Right.
Sabrina goes, yeah, let's start a podcast. Hey, Tabby, by the way, you're going to do all the hard things.
Right. So we're pretty close though, right? You've got everything. We're now on SoundCloud, which we haven't advertised yet, but we're waiting for iTunes and Google to approve our first podcast. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So we are set up on SoundCloud. If anybody wants to go to SoundCloud, they can hear our first podcast. We are called Not a Safe Space. And so you go in, you search it, and then our first one, it's called Strippers, ... Who's the Better Spouse?
Nice. So, I know at the end of our last podcast, I kind of explained what Not a Safe Space or where Not a Safe Space came from. And I thought I'd just throw the disclaimer in now rather than at the end. The way that we came up with the name is that we were talking about what we wanted to talk about and how we didn't want to have a filter. And I think Tabby said, well, we need to put a warning out there that this is not a safe space, that our comedy and our sense of humor is a little bit dark and inappropriate at times. And
very inappropriate.
We said, hey, why don't we just call it that? Now you know. You're not coming to a place that is rainbows and butterflies. Life is fucked up, and I find the humor in it, and it's the only way that I can get through, and I'm sure most of us can get through.
Yep.
And we might be beautiful, proper ladies, but we've got the minds and vocabulary of dirty sailors.
I like it.
That's right.
But you know what? For people who are actually getting to watch this, and we are totally rocking the pink right now.
Oh, yeah, look at us.
Look at this. I mean, we're both wearing pink.
That's right.
We did not coordinate this.
No, we didn't. And I don't know about you, but I'm already sweating.
Like a whore in church?
Yeah, I'm a freaking sweater. It's ridiculous.
Are you nervous? Is there something you need to tell me, Sabrina?
No, not at all. I just constantly sweat. It's so gross. So you'll see me like in the last podcast. Did you see me keep holding my monster up to my shoulders?
No, I didn't.
I was trying to cool myself down.
You're like, oh, I'm hot. Cool this down, please.
That's right. So a little bit of housekeeping from last week's episode. We talked a little bit about my lack of affection with my poor sweet husband, and Tabby assigned me some homework on hugs.
Yes. So how many did you get?
So I didn't
be honest.
I didn't count the number of hugs, but I can tell you that I feel like I was a little more giving on hugs and hand holding. That I made it a point that when he walked in to go find him and give him a hug and ask him how he was doing. It also helped that it's my time of the month, so there was no sex involved, so I had to just be intimate and hug him and let him hold me and not get down to the nitty-gritty.
So basically what you're saying is you cheated. You used your biology against yourself.
As my own security. Yeah, so that I didn't get down to the dirty deed and just hug him.
Are you literally saying that you cannot hug Nate without having sex? Like if you hug him, does it normally lead to sex and that's why you can't hug him as much?
Yeah.
Okay. I
mean, if we're going to be laying in our room hugging each other, let's do something.
Right? Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm a pretty easy girl.
Yeah, literally.
Right. So that was my hugging. Now we talked a little bit about a friend and her self-discovery and her homework.
Ooh, yeah.
the word of masturbation. She failed.
What?
She said she did it once, and she felt bad about it, and she's not really into it.
Why did she feel bad about it?
I don't know. We're not going to say her name at this point, but she did say once. She did say, "I want to come and talk on your podcast." So,
okay,
if we have her out, we'll talk to her about being in your mid-30s and discovering your body for the first time, which is weird because I assume that there are some people that are like that, right? That find it shameful or not as in love with their body. And I'm sure she's not the only one who feels like that. So she did say she'll come on and chat with us. So
okay, I like that.
Update is she failed.
She failed. All right. But at least she tried.
She did once.
Once.
Yep. And then the last piece of housekeeping I have is on conjugal visits. I did a little bit of reading. It is allowed.
Good job. Hooked on phonics. Did it work for you?
It did. So 4 states, California, Connecticut, New York, and Washington. If you ever get sent to a low security, min security, like it has to be a low security prison and it has to be your spouse, then they allow conjugal visits in those 4 states.
Okay. How often are they allowed to have a conjugal visit?
I didn't look that up, but I
mean, is it like once a month, once every 6 months, once a year? I mean, once a week?
I didn't find that out, but that's a good point, right? Like, how often are they allowing that? What do you think they should allow?
Well, none.
Even at a minimum security, we're talking tax fraud.
Exactly. They stole somebody's money. They shouldn't be getting sex.
True. Good point, right? And
I mean, do they allow, and here's the other question really, do they allow the female prisons for the female criminals to have conjugal visits? Or is it just the man?
It's crazy, and I wonder, that's a good question of when it started. Did it start because they think men have such a desire and need that they have to be fulfilled, and when these men get to prison, they have to have sex?
I would think so, but I don't know. I don't know the answer either.
People are assholes. I guarantee that's where it started from.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely didn't start from women need this kind of connection.
Oh, no, and because I'm sure when it started, there were more male prisoners than there ever were female prisoners.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yep.
True. So that's the end of my housekeeping. Do you have any housekeeping from last episode? Anything else we need corrections?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, perfect.
You didn't sign me any homework, girl.
I know. So, how's your week been?
It's been interesting. I'm hormonal, and God help Dion. So it's just been, I've been angry. He's been teasing me, and I'm looking at him like, I want to punch you in the face. Stop talking.
So, does Dion pick on you?
No, he's not picking on me. He's just being Dion and playing and being sweet. But, you know, there's moments when he's being sweet and I'm going, it's just not the right time. It's the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys tend to get in arguments when it's, and I'm just assuming because you said hormonal, do you guys get into arguments when it's your hormonal time of the month?
No, because he's really, really, really good about going, okay, I love you. What do you need? And then I'm going to run away. Is pretty much what it is. I mean, there was one time in our relationship, you know, we made a joke about it. Like when a woman is hormonal, you should throw chocolate at her.
Mm-hmm.
So Dion literally stood in the other room and threw chocolate at me. And you think, oh, that sounds great. He got you chocolate and it's super sweet. But it really wasn't, because the corner of the chocolate hit me in the collarbone and scratched me and ended up hurting. So now I'm screaming from pain from a freaking chocolate bar. And I'm going, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you throwing chocolate at me? Oh, yummy, yum, 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 yum.
That's funny.
I mean, that's really happened. I was just like, oh, okay.
Now, I don't think maybe he has learned how to manage.
Oh, he definitely has. Oh,
Yeah.
I do have something to say, though. But you know how last episode we were talking about the intensive training for our husbands?
Yeah.
Right. So you know what Dion said to me? He goes, hey, you guys have been in your own intensive training program from them training us. Really?
I'm pretty much perfect. Listen.
You know.
I'm telling you. So look, I ask my husband all the time, what can I do better to be a better partner, wife, whatever for you?
Hug him.
And his answer is always nothing. So I'm perfect.
Really?
Or he's just scared to death to tell me the truth.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. He's scared to death.
Well, I'm accepting perfection.
Okay, well, as long as you're accepting your perfection.
Right. What did Dion think of the last episode?
He liked it.
He did.
He basically said for our first episode, it was really good. He said, as if it gets better from here, he's like, you guys have really got something.
Yeah, I listened to it in the car a little bit for about 40 minutes with Nate, and he was responding to us talking, which I really enjoyed, because I was like, ooh, that's what I hope our listeners are going to do. Like, they're part of our conversation. So like, if I would ask you a question, he would answer it.
Right. I know. Exactly.
I thought that engagement was, I don't know. I liked seeing that. Now, he did correct me and say that he does not like all tattooed, black hair, pale skin strippers.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, he enjoys variety and all women. And so that he doesn't care.
Well, good.
Pretty much he's not picky.
Okay, then. Whatever floats your boat.
Right. So the rest of your week, everything else going fine? I know you're running a little late today. You got stuck in a bobcat.
I did. Literally. I was coming down our dirt road to get home from a meeting, and there was a bobcat trailing down the dirt road. Now, not a animal bobcat, but a machine equipment bobcat that took up all the road. The guy had to literally pull off to the side so I could pass them.
How often do they have to do that on your road?
They do that probably, depending on the weather, but probably about once every 2 months.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad.
At least they keep up with it.
Right. And I don't really know who does it, because it's not part of the county. So it's one of our neighbors that has some big equipment that goes out there and smooths out the road.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Well, so over here at the Brigant's house, we're suffering from what I've been calling on Facebook the summer hangover.
Yes, I've seen that.
So
it's been pretty freaking hilarious.
Boy, how things have changed.
Okay.
So Lorelai's birthday is this week.
Mm-hmm.
When I had Lorelai, she turns 9 on Monday.
Wow.
I got to schedule a C-section. So the type of mother and person I was.
Wait. She turns 9 and you get to schedule a C-section?
When I had her, I got to schedule a C-section.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you've already had one C-section and it was due to complications, they like you to have another.
Okay.
So I got to pick Lorelai's birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, nothing better could have happened for somebody that was of the mindset that I was 9 years ago, who was somebody that like to plan everything. I like to have everything under control. So here I was going into surgery. Ethan would have been starting school that same week. So I have to get this kid back to school, school shopping, grocery shopping, because I'm going to be on my ass for a little while. It was such a joy to be able to schedule her C-section, right? And so I did it I think the week before school started, so I could be home, get my new baby home, get everything going, blah, 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 right?
Okay. Fast
forward to 9 years later, we only have one kid leaving for school on Monday because Ethan's graduated. We have already done school shopping, already done all of that. That's about as prepared as we were for it. Normally, I would have liked 2 weeks of what we call like bedtime routine. She would have been going to bed at 8 o'clock instead of midnight, 1 o'clock, whenever this child goes to bed.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do that, which resulted in her falling asleep in class the first day of school.
Okay, but I've done that. Seriously, I have done that. First day of school, conked out, half an hour, and the teacher let me sleep.
That's what she said. She said her friend said the teacher was like, just let her sleep. So they let her sleep for 30 minutes. So then yesterday I had to go out of town early in the morning. So Ethan had to take her to the bus stop. Ethan said that he looked at her and said, I'm going to take a little nap. Wake me up when the bus comes. Well, they both fell asleep and missed the bus.
Like brother, like sister.
Right. So they wake up. And all the other kids are gone. All the other cars are gone. And my two kids are just sleeping there now on the bus stop in the car.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, thankfully they weren't late for school. He just went and took her to school. So I think today we've successfully made it through back to school. She made it to school on time. She had breakfast. We'll see if she stayed awake. She's been going to bed on time.
Right.
It's just a little crazy. I don't know how most people feel about back to school. I enjoy summertime personally, just because I enjoy the freedom of no schedule.
What? You enjoy a no schedule?
Yeah. I hate.
Weird for you.
It is, but I hate the parenting part of school of, have you done your homework? Did you do this? Did you do that?
You hate the nagging.
I do. There's nothing fun about that.
No, there's nothing fun about it.
Yeah.
But it has to be done.
It is, right? And education is so important. And I know that a schedule is so important. And during the summer, we probably have less family time because the kids are all going in different directions. So now we get to start eating dinner at the same time every single night and enjoying our time together.
Right.
There's just kind of plus and minuses. On top of that, Lorelai goes to summer school, but I know there's a lot of listeners that their kids are home with them in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Lorelai's been home for 2 weeks, I think, 3 weeks. She drives me freaking bananas.
Yeah.
I'm like her bank and her Uber driver.
Oh, yeah, and entertainment.
Yeah, her cruise director. That's what I always call it.
There you go. You're like the Love Boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was the cruise director on the Love Boat? What was her name?
Oh God, I don't know. The Love Boat isn't the guy that said the plane, right?
Oh, I don't know. The Love Boat's way before my time.
Why the fuck did you ask me then?
Because you're older.
Not that much older.
I know.
What the fuck? And I'm pretty sure the guy that says the plane is from something island. The plane.
Maybe. The only thing I know with the plane is in Spain, and that's Audrey Hepburn and My Fair Lady.
Oh no, that's way too sophisticated for me. I'm talking about the little tan midget guy that goes,
You're scared of short people.
I know.
Short people.
I know. I have a thing about midgets, which I'm not even sure we're allowed to say anymore. Am I allowed to say that word?
I don't know. Well, here you are, because it's not safe space.
That's right. So fuck off.
Exactly.
So the other thing I wanted to mention on top of Lorelai's birthday, I mean, back to school it was Lorelai's birthday. And this year we did a roller skating party.
Right.
And in past years, and tell me a little bit first, like what were birthdays like when you were growing up? Did you have birthday parties? Did you guys do that?
Yes, we had birthday parties. But a birthday party at my house growing up was I got to hang out with all the kids in the neighborhood outside, and then we would play games or something like that, and then or have water slides, because I grew up in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then what would happen is everybody come inside, and then we'd have birthday cake, and then the family would have a birthday dinner, and then I got to choose whatever I wanted to eat for the birthday dinner. And then of course there were presents and stuff, but that was the gist of it. It was pretty basic. Nothing elaborate or that sort of thing.
Yeah, same with me. It was like on your birthday night, you got to pick what you wanted for dinner. We didn't have a birthday party every single year.
Mm-hmm.
But the years, my sister and I, our birthdays are a few days apart. So Charlene and I typically had our birthdays together.
Okay. See, my sister's 8 years older than me, so my birthday was my birthday.
Oh, okay. No, Charlene and I pretty much doubled up. And if people were buying, hers is 3 days before mine. Like our grandparents bought us the same thing. So if Charlene got a fanny pack, I was getting a fanny pack. If Charlene got a cassette tape, I was getting a cassette tape.
Was it the exact same fanny pack? Or did they
just different
colors? Okay, good.
So we were pretty much, though, raised kind of like twins. You know, we did the same things. We did the same activities. We had the same friends. We had the same birthday parties.
Well, that makes sense. You guys have the same haircut.
Yeah, we do now. We do now. So, but birthday parties were simple. It was, a handwritten invitation on maybe just a 12-pack you bought from Kmart. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite games that my dad always had us play was this game with Kool-Aid, and it was just like a jug of Kool-Aid on one side of the yard, an empty container on the other side of the yard, and it was like relay races with soup ladles.
Oh, okay.
Where you'd have to run back and forth with your team against one another to fill up that other container to a certain line. Such a simple game, but it still sticks in my head of how much fun that was.
Right.
So fast forward, God knows how many years since I'm old.
We won't mention that.
Right. And now there's Pinterest, right? And there's birthday parties and all these events. And I was a victim of that.
No, you weren't. Tell me you did not spend like thousands and thousands of dollars on a kid's birthday party. Tell me you did it.
I don't want to lie to you.
I have that faith in you. Come on.
Let me tell you, it was terrible. Now, some of it I enjoyed, right? Some of it I enjoyed planning. But when life became so busy and these parties became such a task and
stressful,
right? And Nate and I would be fighting because a month beforehand, everything has to be done. There's projects that you put off all year because now you have all these people coming to your home, or we'd have these, like one year Lorelai had a mermaid party. And so I painted these beanbag toss, or no, like those things where you stick your face in it so somebody looks like a mermaid and it's just a hole. Like I hand painted these stupid things.
Are you nuts? Have you lost your mind?
Yes.
Seriously. What the hell?
Like I had
played with it for 2 seconds, and they're like, "Pew! I don't care about this shit anymore." Oh, it took you 16 hours? Nah, no big deal.
100%. That was me. With on that birthday, it was like a treasure find in a sandbox because everything and all the food, like the chicken salad was served on croissants with little fucking crab eyeballs at the top, and instead of just grapes in a bowl, I hand strung them on like a little kebab stick so they look like seaweed. And then I made name tags for all the fucking food, and just ridiculous. The outcome was always the same. Lorelai had a great time, and she doesn't remember any of it.
Shit.
Right. And it wasn't until Frozen came out, and Lorelai, of course, was going to have a Frozen birthday. And the first thing I did was call our cake maker, because I couldn't just have a Publix cake. My kids had these 2-tiered cakes for their birthdays that cost hundreds of dollars.
Okay, so for listeners right now, I just want to let you know I am giving Sabrina this what the fuck look. Like she's lost her damn mind. Like
I agree.
This is just craziness. This is just insanity.
I 100% agree. Back then, I probably would have justified it and told you that it meant so much to her, blah, 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 blah. It's all bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. Your child self is kicking your ass right now.
Right.
Because as a kid, you wouldn't have done any of this stuff.
No, and my parents wouldn't have. And I do not have any place in my heart that is like, oh God, I wish my birthdays were so much better as a kid. No, they were perfectly fucking fine. Right. And my parents didn't spend more money on the party than they did my actual gift, because that's essentially what was happening.
Right. And that's just craziness. You want to know where my cake came from? A box. My cake came from a fucking box. Right. You know where the frosting came from? A jar. Came from a jar. That was it. And it was spread it on with a freaking butter knife. And God help you, make sure it wasn't lopsided. You were having a great year if it wasn't a lopsided cake.
Right. And if it was, nobody
cared.
Exactly. So I'll tell you when I realized it was all bullshit. Ordered the Frozen cake, 2 tiers, beautiful cake. Can't cancel it at this point. Now I've got my whole Pinterest board going. I know everything I'm going to be making. Going to turn my house into this winter wonderland in August. And,
in Florida.
Right. And just really have this great birthday for her. And she says, and I think she was 5 years old, I just want to have a macaroni and cheese and purple soda birthday. And I was like, what? And she was like, and I just want to invite my family over. And I was like, what about your Frozen birthday? No, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to have macaroni and cheese and purple soda.
She went from a 2-tier professional frozen cake to macaroni and cheese and purple soda.
Yep, and not inviting any friends. And I was like, oh, okay. If that's...
So did you have to restrain yourself from strangling her at that moment? Because we're talking hundreds of dollars that now have gone out the window because she just changed her mind.
Thankfully, the cake part I was prepared to eat because I had already booked it and I was
literally.
It. Yeah, well, not even because I don't even eat cake, but
oh no.
So the cake part was happening no matter what. So what she ended up with was boxed macaroni and cheese because that's my family's favorite. Velveeta cheese, and then I made one fancy crock pot cheese just because that's what Southerners eat, and then purple soda. And I did not serve anything else. And my entire family, my husband's family came, and when they said, what are we eating? And macaroni and cheese. That's what the girls asked for. And she had a great time. And ever since then, she allowed me to be like, fuck it. What are we doing?
Right.
So when we had our party on Saturday, I was prepared to order, she had a roller skating party. I was prepared to order roller skating themed invitations. Well, summer camp was ending in 2 days and that was no longer an option. I ran to Walmart, grabbed a $7 pack of invitations, and that was done.
Right.
And then a couple days before, I was like, oh shit, what about gift bags? You have to buy gift bags. And Lorelai was like, why do you have to do that?
Right. Why do we have to do it? Why do we have to give a gift bag to other kids that's not their birthday and they're there to give your kid a present? And they're
That's what
eating your
she said.
food and your cake. I don't understand that part.
That's what she said. I don't know where that came from.
Where did that social protocol come from?
I don't know. I mean, so I had candy from Ethan's graduation party left over. So I stopped at the dollar store and
Mm,
filled 10 of those fucking dollar store bags and called it a day.
right.
And we gave them out, and there was such a great feeling about zero planning. You know, the skating rink took care of everything. We showed up, we had a great time. I had ordered a $30 cake from Publix. It was delicious, and
Probably better than that frozen cake.
yeah, and it was great. I mean, it was such a nice release and such a difference from where we were just a few years ago.
Right.
And being able to say, like, hey, this is okay. This is okay to do.
Right. It wasn't this everything has to be perfect moment.
Well,
Not
that,
everything is Instagram worthy.
right. Well, I think, and I think that's a big deal, right? Is that people want to perceive this, I don't know, this image of what everything should be. And I think that Pinterest is partly to blame. Nobody can keep up with that shit.
No. You know what? You know what I use Pinterest for? I'm like,
What?
oh, I have an idea. Da, da, da. Okay, look, that's a cool idea. Now let's figure out how we can do this in reality.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, because I'm not going to go in, roll little pieces of fondant in different colors and da, da. Hell no, I don't have time for that. And
Mhm.
not only that, but you eat fucking fondant. You eat it, you digest it, and you shit it out. Why
Yeah.
am I spending my time doing that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do. But I wonder how many other people are able to be okay with just being normal. Why can't we just be simple again?
I don't know.
There's a
I-
part of me that thinks that this is the reason why shows like Stranger Things and all these shows that are going back to the 80s and 90s and nostalgic feelings, because
Mhm.
things were fucking simple.
They were. They were extremely simple. And that was the beauty of it. Just like our childhood and our birthdays were simple, but we loved them because we went out and we used our imagination. We weren't duplicating someone else's fantasy,
Yeah. And
and we
expectations, right? It's the
exactly.
expectations.
There were no expectations. There was no my birthday party was better than your birthday party. Or if it was, nobody gave a shit. So
Right.
these hyper moms who are helicoptering their children and doing everything perfect, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There was like one of those moms back in the 80s. Now they're all like that.
Right.
And there's so much pressure and everybody is just like everything has to be picture perfect, but that's not life, and nobody's showing you what stress and what anxiety you have to go through to get to that picture perfect moment. Like when you were putting Lorelai's birthdays together and all the pictures, do you look at those pictures and go, oh, she's so happy, or sometimes you go back and go, man, I fucking worked my ass off and
Yeah.
didn't get to enjoy it.
That's 100%. I didn't get to enjoy any of those things, any of those parties. They happened so quickly, eh, and none of them matter anymore. We put so much work and time into it, and it's so nice to be able to be released from that. And I think that society, and I think that maybe not society, well, men never gave a shit to begin with, but I think that women are finally ready to say, okay, the last 10 years have been fucking ridiculous. Let's go back to the basics.
Right. I
Because
agree.
I'll tell you, I'm very big on what I call hashtag Facebook perfect. I think people post only the highlights of their life, And then you have the rest of the world being envious of the highlight portion of your life.
Right.
I like to put it out there. The fucked up part. I mean, I've busted my ass while skating. My family look perfect out there on roller skates? Yeah, but the truth is, I fucking busted my ass. And I look like,
True.
right. But that's the funny reality part of it where people reach out to me and they're like, you guys are so funny and your guys' lives are so great. Well, our lives are just like everybody else's. I'm just being real about it. My husband and I argue. I drive my kids crazy. My kids drive me crazy. My kids call me out constantly. And
Right.
it's okay. And they're really kind of keeping us in line now where I think even the kids these days are like, this shit's just ridiculous. It took a child to say, I don't want all that. I just want macaroni and cheese.
Right. And
And purple soda.
a purple soda. And doesn't that feel great?
It does, yeah.
Macaroni and cheese and purple soda, and they are happy.
It's craziness.
Yep. Nothing organic.
No,
You know,
no.
it's all bad for you, and she is enjoying the heck out of it.
Do you buy into organic?
No, because organic means that it has to like come from from the ground. That's organic to me. If I want organic, it doesn't come in a box. You cannot buy organic macaroni and cheese in a box.
Mm-hmm.
That's not organic.
What is the true definition of organic? Do you know that?
I don't, but I think it has something to do with the way that the food is processed,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that it's shipped. Like they don't use any pesticides, or they're not genetically modified.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know
And
what I
no
mean?
chemicals, maybe?
Right.
I don't buy into it at all.
No, it's a way for them to charge you more money.
Yeah, I really believe that I grew up on drinking water out of the hose, and
Yep.
I don't need fucking bottled water.
Nope. The water I'll give you, but some of the foods, they're definitely screwing us up on.
You think so?
No, I know so. So
Yeah.
like our milk is really bad for us. Our milk is pumped full of antibiotics and hormones. So, and I know this because I did some research. So when a dairy farm, when they have so many cows, they are pumping the cow full of milk 2 or 3 times a day with a machine, right? And so what happens is because they're pumping so much, the teats are getting swollen and infected. So, when something gets infected, you have to stop doing what makes it infected and let it rest, right? And heal. Well, the dairy farmers aren't doing that. What they're doing is they're giving the cows antibiotics to heal it, and they keep pumping. And then they pasteurize the milk, and they claim that it comes out. But it can't be coming out because we now have, 9-year-olds with freaking boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from the hormones in our milk. And yet the FDA will tell you that it is bad for you to drink unpasteurized milk. But it's not. I've got a dairy cow. I'm drinking that unpasteurized milk, and it is good. And it's good for you. I mean, that's how they used to do it.
Is it fattening?
What do you mean fattening?
Well, because if you buy milk from a store, there's skim milk, 0.5%, 2% whole milk. So
right,
going straight to the.
And I don't know if it's because like they water it down or how they do that, or it. I think it's depending on how much of the cream you get out of it. So when you milk a cow and you get all that milk and you let it set, the cream comes to the top. So if you leave all of that cream in it, you have whole milk. And then if you take out part of it, you have skim milk, and you have none of that cream. I think that's where they get the non-fat milk from. But the cream, like real genuine cream coming from a cow, It's delicious. It's
So
amazing.
why cow milk?
I don't know, because that's what we're supposed to do.
So the other day I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots podcast, and
Okay.
Charlemagne the God said that he, brace yourself,
Okay.
enjoys his wife's breast milk. You should see Tabby's face. So, now,
What?
Tabby, you've never birthed a child. Let me tell you how. When just
What
like your
the? What in the? What? Oh,
just like your
that
cow.
just says exactly what I was gonna say. Like the damn bull.
Yeah, so just like your cow, when your baby comes, your breast automatically, and I don't know, look, I'm over here making the motion
You're gonna
of
play with
milking.
her titties?
Yeah. So your milk comes, right? And it tastes like what you eat, supposedly. And he said that it's delicious. And when his wife is drinking, and so then she has to dump it, he drinks that. And that he gets jealous when his baby empties out her breast.
He's jealous of a child drinking breast milk.
Right, because he
So
wants
wait,
that
does
milk.
he drink it? Does he drink it straight from the titty?
Yes.
No. No, he doesn't.
Yes.
No.
So,
She lets him suck her titties while he's getting milk.
right. So then he said, why
Does
do
she
we
like squirt
drink?
it on his face like
You can.
a
So
money shot?
you 100% can. So I don't know if you know, but when the milk
No,
comes
I
out of your,
don't know. You
yeah,
can
when the
money
milk,
shot someone with your titty?
I totally squirted Nate.
What?
Are you kidding? These things are weapons when they're locked and loaded.
I've never heard of this before, ever.
Yes. So when you get milk in it, you can like just squeeze. There's like a hot spot right here, and it will shoot out. And it doesn't just shoot out in one hole. You know that sprinkler system where the water is going all like this?
Right. Yes.
That's how the milk comes out in multiple fucking holes, go in multiple directions.
Okay, so kind of like when guys say they have to like lean or they've been drinking, they can't make it into the toilet because they got a little clog and it goes pew.
Yeah, but they only have one hole. In our nipples, we have multiple holes.
Where?
I swear to God, it's more than just one. It's multiple holes that are coming out of your nipple that come out with milk.
Where? Because I don't have a hole in my nipple.
You do. I swear to God, you do.
Okay, I want to see pictures of the holes in your nipple.
Well, I don't know if I can see it now that I'm not producing milk.
Well, you can Google it.
I will Google it and send it to you. So Nate was on the toilet he was in the bathroom one time, and I opened the door because now first of all, he's vulnerable. He's got his pants down. He's sitting on the toilet, and he's locked in this little room. And I just squirted him all of a sudden.
No, that's awesome. And he was, what did he like lick it up like this other guy? He was like, oh, this is yummy, yummy breast milk.
No, he was screaming.
Why?
Well, nobody wants to be squirted with breast milk.
Okay, you know what? Let's just be really honest, okay? Being squirted with breast milk is a hell of a lot better than being squirted with cum. And as much as men are all like, I want to jizz on your face. You know?
Right. So,
payback, bitches, payback.
Right. So going back to the cow, why did we decide as humans, like, let's just pick a mammal, and now this is what's acceptable, but we're the only mammal who gets milk from another mammal, besides, say, if like a cat adopts a random dog or whatever, those feel-good pictures you see on Facebook.
I've never seen a cat sucking on a dog's teat.
You've never seen like when a dog adopts a baby something that isn't part of their litter on Facebook?
Well, yeah, I've seen them do that, but they're not freaking drinking each other's milk.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No.
So
you need to Google that too. You've
Yeah,
got two homework assignments so far.
I should stop talking. So why do we drink cow's milk rather than breast milk?
Well, I don't, maybe because at some point the mom had to go, dude, you got to get off the teat because I got to get back to the farm.
Right. Or like my son said, well, Mama, could you imagine a barn full of women connected to machines that we're just pumping milk from 24/7? I feel like there might be some human rights issues there.
That's a very good point.
Right. But,
But we also drink goat's milk too. So it's not as popular.
Yeah, and there's some people, like, I don't know if I would drink goat's milk. It sounds kind of gross to me, but why am I drinking a cow's milk? And why do I find it gross to drink a human's milk when
it comes right out of you?
Right.
Did you ever taste your own breast milk?
Fuck no.
I had to ask. I had to. I couldn't resist.
No, because I am one of those people. I'm one of those people.
You never did a little, like.
No.
No. Okay.
I'm one of the guilty people that think it's fucking gross, but I also think it's interesting that we're so judgy about it, but we're drinking from a fucking cow.
That's true. My grandmother told me stories about when she was younger and she would milk the cow. She would literally take a drink right from the teats and she'd just squeeze it right in her mouth. And she's like, it was good. She's like, it was warm, but it was good.
See, but that's a cow's tit, and we're okay with that, but we're not okay with, like, a woman going, open up, squirt, squirt.
I guess it depends on the man. I don't know if Dion would be up for it. I mean, obviously he'd be happy with a tit in his mouth, but not necessarily the breast milk.
No. It's a weird thought just to think that cows are okay, but our own milk isn't. And like I said, I'm one of the guilty parties of it's fucking weird, but why milk? And I love cow's milk. I don't want to change from it.
Okay.
But how did we get to this point where cows are okay, but human milk is not acceptable after a certain age?
Well, and I think that has to do with our culture and our society. If you think about it, at what point, if you weren't to wean your child off of your teeth like you have to do the cows, you would have a freaking 17-year-old kid still milking off of you. So could you imagine Ethan? I mean, still be like, hey, mommy, I'm hungry.
Mama. Can I get some of that tit, mama? No, that would be weird. But right. We could pump it, right? We could pump it into these jugs and be like, all right, good morning, kids, make your milk.
No. Because at some point, the children have to be self-sufficient.
Right. You know what? Maybe that's why it wasn't done. Because back in the olden days, work life for women, men, and children was very involved, and it took a lot of work to run a household. And so maybe the women were just like, look, I don't got enough fucking time to take care of this house and these dirt floors that we have and everything else and make your guys' fucking clothes. If you need some milk, go see that cow sitting out in the middle of the fucking farm.
Probably. I am sure it went down something very similar to that.
Right, but they probably weren't allowed to cuss because women had to be very proper.
Nobody was cussing back then, or their curse words were something completely different.
I wonder when cuss words were invented.
Well, I know in Shakespearean time, using the word marry was considered an insult, like a cuss word.
Like so in what context?
It was in Romeo and Juliet, but I don't remember the line, but I do remember using the word marry, like what we now call marry, was basically the equivalent of saying fuck off.
So marry as in like get married.
Like marry, M-A-R-Y. You're
so
such
like
a name. Yeah, like a name. What we consider now a name was considered an insult.
Oh. I wonder why that was.
Don't know. I really, really don't know the answer to that one.
So hold on, I'm looking down because I tried to Google it really quickly, and it talks a little bit about on Urban Dictionary comparing it to the Virgin Mary. So was
Okay.
it was it used like she's such a goody two shoes?
Maybe. But it's
Hmm.
still an insult.
Right, yeah. I wonder when my favorite word fuck was invented.
I don't know. But we
Because
love that word fuck.
I know. Oh, I wonder what the great man was who invented that word.
No, 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 no. Now, why are you assuming that it was a man?
Because
That's
back
very
then men did
sexist.
everything.
No, they didn't.
You
You know,
agree?
I know. No, no, no. I'm going to call you out because I learned something super interesting last night. So we were watching the History Channel, and there was a show called Food That Built America, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's about Hershey's, and we've all heard about the Hershey story, and I'm sure some of us heard about the Mars, the Milky Ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you know that in the 20s they had flash frozen food? Did you know Bird's Eye? You know that company, the Bird's
Uh-huh.
Eye? And
The
it's
the
all the frozen,
vegetables.
the vegetables, yes. So, there was this man who had it all set up. He had all the patents for everything. Everything was proprietary. Nobody was doing what he was doing, but they were failing. And the reason why is because in the 20s, there were no freezers in the homes. And there
Mm-hmm.
was barely any, in the grocery stores, wouldn't put freezers in their stores. So they had to stay local until Mary Post, who came along, she bought their entire company, patents included, for $22 million. She bought this company for $22 million. $22 million in the 20s equivalates to about $300 million today.
Holy shit. Where did she get that money from?
The show did not say, but I could only assume that it was family money. But
Right.
she was a business savvy woman. She went in, took over businesses, and freaking made them big time money. So Bird's Eye is the number one frozen food company in the world today still.
Holy shit.
And it was done by a woman.
Right.
And
And her name is Mary Post.
I believe that was what her name was Mary
Okay.
Post. And
What
it's
was
on the
the name of
History
that show?
Channel. Huh?
Sorry. Sorry, I just interrupted you. What was the name of that show?
It's called The Food That Built America, and it's on the History Channel.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna watch that.
Yes, it was only a limited series,
Mm-hmm.
so hopefully you can find it. If not, maybe it's on YouTube. But I loved it, and I had said to Dion, I go, look, I said, I just want to point something out to you. And he goes, okay. And I go, granted, I understand that most of this is about men because at this time, men were the one running all the businesses. I said, but if you look back in our history books, they don't fucking mention her. She
Never.
was considered the wealthiest woman in the country. The
Really?
wealthiest woman, and not a peep of her in our history books.
Yeah, instead they name families like uh what what the fuck are they called? The Kennedys. Who are some of the famous families? Um, Morgans.
Oh,
The
J.P. Morgan,
yeah, big banking.
Rockefellers.
Yeah, Rockefellers. They didn't mention Miss Mary Post.
Nope, they sure didn't.
Huh.
It's interesting, and you know, and I love my husband. He goes, you know what? He goes, that was wrong. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, that needs to be changed. He goes, because women should know about that.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. That's pretty interesting.
You should. It is. The whole thing is pretty interesting because it talks about how the Mars company was a father who built it and then brought his estranged son in. and his son wanted to take over, but the father said no, and then the father died because he gave the business to somebody else. And then he actually went to he was going to go to Hershey, but Hershey ended up letting someone else go who thought they were going to take it over, and then those two got together. It was Milton and Mars, and that's how we got M&Ms. Because it was a revolutionary candy at that time, because they had never seen chocolate with a candy coating on the outside. It had never been done. So the whole melts in your mouth, not in your hands, is from literally not melting in your hands. You could hold it.
That Milton, is that the same as Milton Bradley?
I think so.
The toy?
No, it wasn't the toy.
There's no involvement with the toy?
No, no, it wasn't.
Okay. Well, that's crazy. So all of those food companies, Mars and Hershey's and Bird's Eye, those are 100% U.S.
Yep.
originated companies?
Yep.
Are those families still wealthy and part of like American history now? You know, the way like the Hilton family is, that owns Hilton resorts and hotels, and are there Mars heiress out there that we don't know about? That
I don't know. I could only assume so.
Mm-hmm. It just makes me think that there's a part of our history that we don't appreciate.
You still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. So I've got really bad storms going on. So hopefully we don't have too much issue.
Okay, you still sound good.
Okay, good. I look good too.
Yes, you do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters how you look, darling.
Oh, that's so sweet. So one of the guys' name was Forrest Mars, who came from the Mars Company. Mm-hmm. But then I'm looking for the other guy's name. Where is it? Where's his flippin' name? I can't find his name. That's not helpful. All right. Anyways.
Was that lightning?
That was lightning. You
Holy
just
shit.
saw lightning through my window.
Yeah. So
we're 2 hours away, but you saw my lightning.
I did. Yeah. It's sunny and skies over here on our side of town.
Not over here.
What I was going to say is that makes me think, that those families that help build this country, we really don't hear much about them. And our children don't celebrate them, but we celebrate families like the Kardashians and Will Smith and his family and celebrities more than entrepreneurs.
Yes, we do. And it's sad because we really need to bring back the industry.
Well, and I think that would help build American pride, right? I mean, those people came from nothing.
Right, and they built these multi-billion-dollar industries with just an idea and worked really hard. I mean, part of the show was about KFC, so the Colonel, right, didn't get into it very until much later in life. He was in his 60s when he started KFC, but he had been frying chicken way before then, and he was doing it with cast iron skillets. But everybody wanted to come to have his chicken because it was so damn good, but he couldn't get it out in fast enough, right? Because to fry chicken, it takes 30 to 40 minutes. So he actually took what was considered new technology at the time of a pressure cooker, but you couldn't put oil in a pressure cooker. It was meant to be cooked with water. So he changed it. He reinvented it to use oil. So he could fry his chicken in like 8 minutes. And he, came up with a recipe and everything. So he literally changed the way everybody fried chicken.
Do you like KFC?
No, I think it's fucking horrible. It's a nasty ass chicken. It used to be good, I'm sure, way back in the day when he started, but now it's just crap.
I used to love it.
Yeah, I know. I never loved it. I'm going, this is salty chicken. It's not very good. You know, it's not Southern. Southerners do not put instant mashed potatoes on their table. It's just a freaking insult.
That's
Now the
true.
gravy's good. The gravy's fucking good, but everything else sucks.
So do you know, I know the exact moment I had an instant mashed potato for the first time in my life.
The moment you put it in your mouth.
No, it's just the moment that it was served to me. Because like you said, I mean, Southern families and really just back in the day, you made real mashed potatoes.
Right.
And my stepmom and dad had just gotten divorced. And one night for dinner, I think she had gone house shopping. We were going to be selling our family home and moving into a new home.
Mm-hmm.
And she came home and whipped up dinner, which I think was like shake and bake. And it was like onion and chive instant mashed potatoes in this like pack.
Oh no, the powdery.
Yeah, that you added milk and butter to.
Oh.
And I can remember my stepmom apologizing and warning us beforehand that, you know, she was about to serve us instant mashed potatoes. And she was just, you know, warning us beforehand. And my sister and I ended up loving it.
What?
Well, it tasted so good and creamy. We had never had anything like it before. So it was so different and creamy, and there was a lot of butter in it. And we were like, this is the best thing ever.
And fake shit. No.
Right. And I just remember her apologizing for something that's so silly now, right? Again, it goes back to expectations of this was a woman that was going through a divorce and in the middle of having to move her family and two of her stepdaughters that she had taken in on her own, like, you know, and apologizing for making us fucking mashed potatoes.
Right.
Because it made her feel less in that moment.
Right. And I think that just probably was less about the mashed potatoes and more about everything else that was going on at that time.
100%. And it's just, so I remember the first time I had an instant mashed potato and I thought it was delicious. And on the truth factor here, I don't make real mashed potatoes.
No.
I don't. It's a lot of fucking work.
It really is. It is a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, so I don't make it.
So here's my compromise to that, because I have always been one that says I do not serve not real potatoes in my house. Like, I am a straight real mashed, if we're going to eat mashed potatoes, we're going to have mashed potatoes. But somehow or another, someone got me a hold of the Bob Evans pre-made frozen mashed potatoes.
I've never had that. Is it good?
Oh, those are good, but they are real potatoes. I can taste the potato in there like it's real. So that is my compromise for, you know, I am still serving you real mashed potatoes. I don't have to do all the work, but I'm sticking to my convictions.
What about scallop potatoes?
I don't eat scallop potatoes. Not really. Like, I don't make them or so.
Oh, I love those box scallop potatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Potatoes are not meant to come out of a box.
And I don't like when people make, like, so down here, so I grew up in Virginia too, but I grew up in Virginia Beach, which is a lot different than being a Southerner. Like, you know, we were all beach kids. Yeah, it was a different life than being a true Southerner. So things like crock box macaroni and cheese or crock pot macaroni and cheese.
Crock pot macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, how people make real mashed potatoes and or no, what am I saying? How people make mac and cheese, crock pot mac and cheese.
I've never had a crock pot mac and cheese.
That's how they make it up here in northern or southern Georgia where I live. is they make it in a crock pot or in the oven. That's how they make their mac and cheese, so that the sides get all crispy and all this other shit.
Right.
And they make it with real
Yeah.
cheese.
Yes.
I
Oh,
hate
yeah. No, because you've never had my homemade mac and cheese.
Listen, I make it and people love it, and I won't even taste it because I think it tastes like shit. So I'll cook it and then I'll make Nate taste it. So Nate can tell me if it needs salt and pepper, but in my opinion, like, I can't taste it because it tastes like shit.
What's wrong with you?
I like the shit in the box.
Dude, that's like preservatives. How can you, like, what the hell?
I don't even know what a preservative is, but whatever that cheese,
They're preserved like a pickle from all the box food you're eating.
that milk, that cheese that comes in that powdered form that you put
come on.
That is my favorite mac and cheese.
No.
100%.
I mean, no. I have a mac and cheese that's freaking delicious. So it is, it's made basically out of bacon fat.
Mm-hmm.
Who does not love bacon fat? I mean, except for an Orthodox Jew. But, like, I mean, I take bacon and I fry it up, right? And then I take all that grease and I saute tiny onion chips in it, and it comes out really yummy. And then I make that with some cheese and some cream and whatever kind of cheese. You can make it out of Gouda. You can make it out of Velveeta. I could make you mac and cheese out of Velveeta, and it would be delicious. And you would love it.
All right, listen, next.
Like, yum, 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 yum.
I love when you do that. It reminds me of like a little beaver.
It reminds you of a what?
A beaver that goes. Right.
You know, you see twat, it's all good.
For
a beaver.
I'm just not a fan.
It's crazy.
I don't even like when we go out to restaurants and they offer mac and cheese, even at the fanciest restaurants.
Okay, so I will give you that. Sometimes the fancy ones don't get it correct. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to hold on here for 1 second because Dion's coming in to get Maverick because the poor puppy is under my desk, scared shitless because of the storm.
Okay, perfect.
So hold on 1 second. Yeah, we can.
You on a cut break? Hi.
Hi.
Come on, boy. Come on.
Go see Daddy. Go with Daddy. It's okay. You're okay. Thank you, baby. Go. It's your poor baby.
I know.
He did not want to leave. Thank you, babe.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Well, I think that you need to make me your delicious macaroni and cheese, and I'll try it.
Okay.
Just promise me you won't get offended if I don't like it.
I won't get offended. I will tell you you're crazy and eat the rest of it by myself.
Right. So what's the other thing? Oh, so we were talking about potatoes. Oh, scallop potatoes. My sister-in-law, God bless her soul, love her to death, makes scallop mashed potatoes.
How do you make scalloped mashed potatoes? They're either scalloped or potatoes.
She slices them. So she slices them into like these little medallions.
Yeah.
And then she makes like a milk and cheese mixture, and then you bake it all in the oven. So it comes out as this gooey potato cheese mixture.
Right.
Not a fan.
No,
because the shapes and the sizes of the potato are inconsistent, and some are thicker and some are wider.
Are you a shape person? Are you like, I don't like this if it's in the wrong shape, like a 3-year-old?
It's not that. It just doesn't taste as good as the one in the box.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what. I know a person, no, name is going to remain anonymous.
Ooh, I love that.
Who literally will eat spaghetti, but will not eat baked spaghetti from the same spaghetti that you had the night before. I also know someone who will not eat ravioli, but they will eat spaghetti. It's the same fucking thing, except for it's in different shapes. It's crazy. like it just blows my mind.
So if they have spaghetti one night, they won't eat baked spaghetti the next night.
Correct.
That's crazy.
But if we were to just warm up that spaghetti, it'd be fine. But because it's baked spaghetti, they don't want anything to do with it.
That's crazy. Is it a texture thing or is it?
Oh, it's a texture thing. It's I just like what I like, and that's what it is. And it's that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, okay, go hungry.
Is there anything that you don't eat?
There's a lot of things I don't eat.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do not eat hot dogs.
At all?
No. Like, I physically cannot eat a hot dog.
You'll gag?
I will throw it up. It won't go down, first of all. So, all right, so I used to eat hot dogs as a kid. That was great. I used to like them, and then as I got older, it slowed down. And by 14, 15, I pretty much had stopped eating hot dogs altogether. No more. And I would try every couple of years, even the really great hot dogs and all of that sort of stuff. I'd take a bite, and I would gag, and I'd have to spit it out. And it, just like, That is literally what would happen if I put a hot dog in my mouth.
What changed at 14 or 15?
My stomach. Because it literally, if I was to take a bite, it would sit in my mouth, and no matter how hard I would try to swallow, my throat would close up and not let it go down. My body literally rejects it.
What the fuck?
I know. It rejects it. And my body also does this other weird thing. I know. When I am full, you know how you can push yourself to eat past your fullness?
Uh-huh.
When I'm done, I'm done. My body won't let anything else go down. It will throw and gag it right back on up. I know.
So you would hate this thing that my sisters and I make, and we got it from my dad, and we call it slop.
Yeah, because I'm not a pig.
Yeah, so slop, Charlotte and I named it slop during our summer breaks because we thought that's what people in jail would eat when, we're throwing it on
jail.
Right. So we called it slop. And what slop consists of is the 10-cent brick of ramen noodles.
Yes. Love my ramen.
So you cook the noodles.
Yep.
Drain the water. Put the packet in it.
Oh, no.
Chop up a hot dog or two or three.
God.
Take a can of pork and beans.
Oh, my God.
A can of chili. And pour it all in this thing and mix it together. And if your parents were being real poor and they just had regular pork and beans, sometimes I'd add syrup or barbecue sauce to it to make it a little sweeter. But now that I'm well off, I can afford Bush's baked beans. So now I only have to use the Bush's because it comes with the maple syrup brand. So it is ramen, hot dogs, beans, all mixed together, and we eat it as a meal.
What the fuck?
Oh, and it's even better if you happen to have potato chips, like rippled potato chips, to use it as a spoon, because a chip is truly just a vessel for whatever is going into your mouth.
A chip cannot hold all the chemicals you just put inside your mouth.
It can't.
It would be safer for you to swallow all the cum out of some nasty man's dick than it is to eat that nasty ass shit.
No way. So we're a house divided. Nate can't get over Nate's like, this is fucking gross. None of this stuff goes together. So Nate won't eat it. Lorelai thinks it's fucking weird.
So Lorelai eats it?
I'll have to double check with her. I'm pretty sure we're 2 on 2. I think Ethan and I like it. Nate and Lorelai don't.
It's because they're the sane ones.
Right. Now my sisters Charlene, Caroline, Christine. My older sister's a little stuck up and I don't think she eats it. And I don't think the other older one does. But, and I only say stuck up because I think she's stuck up when it comes to food. Like she won't eat leftovers or
Right.
she won't eat canned vegetables, but is so concerned about getting her, like, I have to have this fresh, this fresh, this fresh, this fresh, but now we're not eating dinner until 10 o'clock at night. And so when she looks at me and she's like, how do you feed your family and get them to bed? Well, because sometimes I have to make exceptions.
Right.
And if my kids are eating box fucking food one night, that's what we got to do.
As long as they're getting fed, right?
Right. Well, she was upset with her mother-in-law because my kids don't eat that. So that's the only reason.
Oh, yeah, she's one of those.
Yeah, it's a little judgy of me, but what the fuck ever.
Apparently you don't care.
No, I don't. She's not a fan of mine anyway, so fuck off.
All right.
So, yeah, that's slop. I love it. I think hot dogs and pork and beans are basically like a dip to me.
A dip?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
You eat it with potato chips.
So the pork and beans, I can
see Tabby's face. She looks like she's gonna puke. She's like,
I'm fucking going to puke. This is absolutely disgusting. I mean, I don't know what else would be more disgusting with this. I mean, you could probably add in a can of sardines or some shit. I mean, you might as well throw everything nasty in here because that's what they're
gross.
eating.
I'd never eat a can of sardines.
You never eat a can of sardines, but you're going to eat freaking ramen noodles, hot dogs. Now, let me ask you, are these hot dogs being cooked on the stove, or are they being freaking warmed up in the microwave before you slop them into the slop?
Well, once the noodles are cooked and you pour in the beans and the hot dogs chopped up, it kind of warms it all up together. So you don't individually cook the hot dogs.
Okay, say that again because I lost you for a minute.
So when you drain the noodles, you throw in the pork and beans and the chopped up hot dogs at the same time, which warms them up then. So you don't individually cook the hot dogs.
Oh my God, so you put raw hot dogs into this nasty mess.
Yeah, but it gets warmed up.
Get cooked.
Well, hot dogs are pre-cooked.
Raw, gooey meat. That's what you're telling me. You're putting pieces of raw, gooey meat into your noodles and your baked beans.
Yeah.
And your pork and beans.
Pork and beans, not baked beans. Yeah, pork and beans.
Well, where the maple syrup come from? You Bush's baked beans.
Oh yeah, that's what Bush's calls it. Yeah, baked beans. Yeah.
So
but in my mind, baked beans. Say what?
Is it baked beans or pork beans? Because those are actually two different types of beans.
Yeah, it's two separate. So growing up, we did pork and beans because I think they're only like 49 cents a can.
Right.
But now that we're older, each one of us uses our favorite Bush's beans.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got sophisticated over the years.
And even my dad changed his recipe, and my dad was using, I think, some type of sausage and something else with his.
Wow, that's just gross.
What about on your side of the family? Is there anything that you guys eat and that's not even the fucking Filipino side of my family, right? That's just good old American 80s summertime meal.
Right.
Was there anything weird that you guys ate?
No, I guess the only the bad stuff that I ate as a kid was I loved my beefaroni out of a can. Nook that in the microwave and with some milk. When I did eat hot dogs, I did occasionally throw one in the microwave and wrap some bread around it.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? And then oodles and noodles. I love my oodles and noodles. I would eat my oodles and noodles at least once a day, every day, all the way up through college. Like fucking loved noodles. I would take it and cook it and not drain the water, put the sauce in, and then I would crack an egg and cook it in it and then add some cheese to it, like gourmet. And then hell, even at one point, I take the shrimp flavor, and then, those frozen little shrimpies, I'd put that in there to be all fancy.
So you were making like Japanese ramen bowls before they became popular.
Yes, I was.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, yeah. But that's the extent of the bad crap I ate.
Oh, my
Yeah.
sisters and I made, my dad, like, we didn't get those small little bags of potato chips with our lunches.
Mm-hmm. No, you had to get the Ziploc baggies that you had to put the chips in.
Well, my dad didn't even give us that. So,
No.
no. So if we wanted potato chips during summer when we'd go to summer camp, Charlotte and I would bring a pack of the ramen, the brick of ramen,
Uh-huh.
crush it up, and then
Eat it raw.
pour the seasoning over it and eat it raw. And I remember the summer camp teachers looking at us like we were fucking crazy.
Yeah, you were. Do you realize how much sodium is in all that shit?
I know.
It's horrible. Okay, it is official, Sabrina. You are pickled.
I probably so.
You're pickled from all the salt.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, that's the thing is like back then. So when my dad married my stepmom, she did make an effort to change the way we were eating. Like I can remember us moving from like white bread to wheat bread. And now I've eaten wheat bread my whole life that I can remember that I don't like white bread. I like wheat bread. She took us from, they don't even make 0.5% milk anymore, but we went from 1% to 0.5% to skim milk. And that's all I drink is the non-fat skim milk.
Really? Okay.
I think whole milk tastes warm and I have to put like ice cubes in it to get it really cold. I just don't like the taste of whole milk. So my stepmom did a good job of trying to get us to be healthy. Because you got to think when I moved my dad, he was basically a single father with 4 girls thrown on him.
Oh, wow.
So then, he was a Navy guy, and it pretty much is how he ate and how he taught us to eat. So we didn't get a lot of chips and junk food like that because he controlled all of that. But I mean, we ate a lot of shake and bake, a lot of boxed, side items, whether it be stuffing or scalloped potatoes.
Oh, did you guys ever have the Salisbury steak that was in the containers that you'd heat up? You know what I'm talking? Yes, we had Salisbury steak like that.
It was good, right?
It was.
Would you eat it now?
Good. No.
I wouldn't either.
No, I wouldn't.
My favorite one was like the little turkey slices that came in like a turkey gravy.
Yes, that one was really good.
I wouldn't eat it now though.
No. Why? Because it's got too many preservatives in it?
So I don't read any of that stuff.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't think I'm educated enough to know.
Well, the one thing that I've learned is if it's got more than 4 ingredients, it's normally bad for you.
Yeah.
And the more packaging that you have to get through to get to your food, it's bad for you. So, like a Lunchable, think about that. You get a Lunchable box, you got to take it out of the box, then you got to take all that plastic off around from the food before you actually get it. So that's 2 steps. And then your drink is a 3rd step because then you got to take the plastic straw off to get into the drink.
Right. This is my problem with Lunchables is first I'm pro Lunchable. I like it. I think they're delicious. I love the turkey and cheese ones. Not a fan of pizza, chicken nugget, any of those ones. I like the basic Lunchable.
Okay, wait. We have to stop because I have a very important question to ask you.
Okay.
Are you telling me at your age you are still eating Lunchables?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to have an intervention about your food. Because you're not freaking 12 anymore. Let's eat like a grown-up.
I know, but like if I'm traveling and the choices at a gas station for lunch is, or, I'm, like I said, if I'm traveling and so now I need lunch, sometimes I'm like, all right, I don't want the 700 calories that Burger King, McDonald's, whatever is sending me. I don't want to spend $10 on their version of a salad that's truly not healthy anyways, and I don't know when it was made. And then you go into the gas station and most of the stuff under the rollers are fried or hot dogs or chili. So
Right.
I'll grab a Lunchable and a cup of fruit and be on my way.
But you don't know when that Lunchable was made either.
No, I don't know, but I'm a fan.
See, you could also stop by Chick-fil-A because their food is a bit healthier. Or you could actually like stop and go to a place like Chipotle and spend 20 minutes in there because it's normally pretty quick. Get your food, eat it, and then go on.
So I would never do that just because of the 20 minutes. When I'm going from point A to point B, I don't like to stop and eat anywhere.
Okay.
So what I do most of the time, like yesterday, I traveled 3 hours south and then 3 hours back, is I stop at a Publix and I'll grab one of their salads.
Okay. Yep.
And go. But if not, then a gas station with beef jerky and a side of fruit, or a Lunchable and a side of fruit is my way to go. And then every once in a while, I'll let myself get like a Whopper Jr. But I am a fan of Lunchables.
Okay.
And so then I compare it to this. How is it any different than a charcuterie board? A charcuterie board is deli meats, cheese, and crackers.
Because you know where you're buying your cheese and your meats and your crackers from. It's not being stored in a plastic container in some shelf for God knows how long. Building bacteria building up and that sort of thing.
So it's more the packaging and the storage and what's being or the steps that are taken to preserve it that
Correct.
You don't like. Okay.
That turkey, you don't know what it's been injected with to make it last so long. Or that cheese. When you go and buy cheese from Aldi or those meats and you put in your fridge and 2 weeks later it's bad, you know that was good stuff because meat and cheeses are not supposed to last an extremely long period of time. The only way to make those things last is to put preservatives in it and stuff that's not good for you.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense of why it's concerning rather than it just being like I've heard some moms complain about parents that send kids to school with a Lunchable because they say it's not healthy. Well, and because, who wants cheese and crackers and meats? Well, let's be real. We're all spending $60 on charcuterie boards that are basically the same thing now. So, let's withhold our judgment there, moms.
Right.
But
moms judging other Lunchables has to do with more, well, you didn't put enough time to think into this.
That's exactly what that is, right? Is that, well, you don't love your kid as much as I love my kid because I hand cut the meat and I did all this. I've never heard the preservative and the fact that what they have to put into the containers to keep the containers fresh as a reason for not liking it. And that makes more sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to eat it because now at this point I feel like I'm almost 40 years old and I'm a pickle.
You're a pickle.
So maybe if I stop doing all the bad stuff that I'm used to doing,
well, you can't stop now. It's too late. You're pickled. You would. So you got to continue the bad things because you're a pickle.
I know. I like pickles too. I'm a fan of pickles. For some reason, you've cut out. Talk? Nope. Your microphone died. Try unplugging it. And maybe you can just talk directly into your laptop. No. So what I think I'm going to do. Oh, there you are.
Okay.
So I was saying I'm a pickle, and you said what?
that my favorite one is Klossner pickles. So the ones in the refrigerator section of the grocery store, I really thoroughly enjoy those.
Are they nice and crispy?
They are, and cold and yummy.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever bought one.
You gotta try them. They're really good.
Nice. I like the like a hot and spicy pickles.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, I'm a plain dill. Just a plain dill.
Plain dill. So, God,
not a dill bee, just a plain dill.
Right. My back is sweating. Look at me. I told you I'm a sweater.
Yes, you are.
I think I'm going to get, have you heard about people getting Botox injections in their armpits?
No.
Yeah, I heard that helps stop sweating.
Why do you keep wanting to put shit in your body? Like, what is the theme with you and wanting to inject things in your body? So we've already determined that you are a pickle. And now this pickle wants to put Botox in her fucking armpits.
Yeah, because look, I'm a sweater. And it gets embarrassing sometimes.
Girl, you sweat. That's what it is. Shake it out. Woo! Do you use women's deodorant?
Lately I've been using Nate's.
So I use men's Gillette. Don't use not the solids, because the solids make me sweat because I'm a sweater too, and it works brilliant. So try it's Gillette Clear. And men's deodorant works so much better than women's.
All right, I'm going to give that a try. Because it gets to the point, Tabby, where if I'm driving down the street to go to see a client,
you can get a whiff of yourself?
No, but I unbutton my shirt in the car while I'm driving and let the AC fucking circulate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there. Okay, so look, I'm going to tell you embarrassing story. Okay. So I used to sweat a lot, and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And I sweated so bad that I'd get a whiff of what I thought was kitty litter. Kitty litter. Wasn't kitty litter. I don't own a cat. Realized I smell like kitty litter to me. So I was like, what the hell? What the fuck is wrong with this shit? Like, what am I supposed to do? And yes, I did just sniff my pit. I'm good.
You did, yeah.
I did. So a friend had ended up telling me, I was like, well, I use men's deodorant because women's wasn't working. Like, the secret clinical supposed to stop all the sweating didn't work. So I switched to men's, and it wasn't working. She's like, you got to use the men and then the clear gel. Don't use the solids. The solids don't work because something with the way that you just sweat right through it. But yeah, I got rid of my kitty litter.
So I had an incident in June where I was at Topgolf during the day for a work event. And that was the first time that I was like, man, somebody fucking smells. And then I was like, fuck, it's me.
Yeah.
And then I wondered, I was like, ew, how long have I been the smelly girl today?
And nobody said anything to you.
Right. Because listen, I'm going to be honest. If you guys see me out in public and there's something wrong, tell me.
Right.
Don't be the friend that doesn't tell you if you got something in your teeth, sticking out of your nose. If I smell, please tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody told me.
No, nobody did. Totally ignored you.
Yeah.
I would have told you. I've been like, Sabrina the pickle, you stink.
I know. Oh, God.
I'd be like, you need to go dip yourself back into the barrel with all the other pickles.
I probably do, because like I said, I don't buy into organic and all this other stuff. Because in my mind, there was this one time when I was a kid, it had just finished raining and I was we lived on Faraday Lane. So I was in elementary school, younger than the 6th grade, younger than the 5th grade.
Okay.
And I was thirsty. So I laid down in my front yard and hung my head over the curb and drank the rainwater coming down the street.
Sabrina, I really worry for you. I worry for you. Like, I get drinking out of a hose. Why did you just go turn on the fucking hose?
No, I didn't. I drank it.
Literally, put your head back. Decide I'm going to open my mouth and let the 3 or 4 raindrops get into my mouth. What was the logic behind that?
I put my head over the side of the concrete curb into this water flow going down our street and suck it all in. I was.
Oh, you were sucking all right.
That's right. And look, I survived.
You did. You're just lucky nobody, ran over your head.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure one of my sisters were with me when I did that. Maybe not. I might have done that on my own.
I think you've done that one on your own.
That's seriously why in my mind I'm like, oh shit, I drank rainwater out of the gutter.
Oh, wait. No, wait. No. Okay, so I am now just getting this. Hold up. You're drinking the rainwater in the gutter. You weren't just like having your mouth open, waiting for it to fall. You were drinking the dirt. What the fuck is wrong with you? Sabrina!
That's what I did. I drank it right out of the street gutter going down the street.
Well, if there's ever an apocalypse, you will definitely survive.
That's right. Because look, there's no place that I don't see water. It's all fresh. It's all there. It was moving water, and I was thirsty.
I've never been that thirsty.
That's why this whole like bottled water and filtrated water, all that, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. Nate thinks it's weird. Did something happen? Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. We're having problems. So I'm thinking we need to put because I'm already going to have to edit a lot anyways. Mm-hmm. We might as well pick up where you left and then try to get it on out. Like do the wrap up.
Okay.
Because we're already at 1:37 and I don't know how much longer I'm going to have connection.
Okay. Do you feel like we've had enough content here to make this an episode? You don't want to talk about? Okay.
No, we'll try doing that tomorrow because, like I said, I'm already going to have to edit enough. We're at 1:37, so we should be good. So what was the last thing that you said?
Something about the water.
All right, so you're drinking the water.
That's yeah. So I drink water out of the street gutter outside my house. I mean, I don't know. So I've had a hard time buying into organic, and that's the way it goes. Now the preservative part has me thinking a little more.
Well, good. I'm glad you're thinking about your pickleness.
Yeah, about me being a pickle. Are there fine wine pickles? Because I think I'm definitely one of those. Then
you are. Okay. I'll give you that. You're definitely a fine wine. You're definitely getting better things.
I'd like to be the more.
When was the last time you ate slop?
When my dad passed away, so 6 months ago.
Okay, we're getting better.
Yeah, my sisters and I will all like message each other and say it's a slop night, and we'll all go out and get it and send pictures to one another as we're cooking it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we still do it. It's delicious.
There you go.
With a side of rainwater.
The side of rain from the gutter, apparently.
Right. Oh
goodness.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I know we've gone over back to school and everything else, and we're wishing everybody. I think most of our listeners are probably back in the school mode.
Mm-hmm.
So we're celebrating with you moms and dads out there that we're as happy as the rest of us to kick those little fuckers on the bus. And the ones that love your kids so much and I miss them so much and I wish they were with me, fuck you guys. Nobody really feels like that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So let me mention this about that is I saw on Twitter somebody post, why are we still giving kids summer breaks when the reason summer breaks were developed was so that kids could be home to plow their fields and do the work. And that studies show that kids lose too much of the information that they've learned all year for summer breaks. Yep. And that we need to get rid of this archaic schedule. And to that person on Twitter, I say, fuck off. Fuck off. We need our summer breaks. The kids need it. The parents need it. And then it's time for them to go back to school.
There you go.
So I guess that's how we're going to leave it. So I know I have a little bit of homework to do. Hold on. Let me see. Tabby's been nice enough to show me the proper way to end this podcast. So, of course, we want to thank you guys for listening to Not a Safe Space. If you have any questions, suggestions, or you just want to rant, you can reach us at notasafespacepodcast@gmail.com. And also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram. We should be posting our first 2 episodes, probably back to back, right?
Yes.
Within the next few days, we're in a holding pattern just because of Apple and Google's process. But once that happens, we'll be releasing episodes. Did we decide once a week?
We're going to try once a week. Yes.
Perfect. So again, if you guys have any suggestions, if we're too loud, if I yell, if I talk too much, if anything, please give us suggestions because we're open to any and all suggestions. Neither one of us have a very large ego, so you will not offend us.
And if you do, we'll tell you to fuck off.
Exactly. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys listening, and we will talk to you next episode.
Have a great night.